Hello and greetings from Brunei Darussalam. This is a presentation from Dr. Masitah Shahrill, Dr. Jainatul Halida Jaidin, Dr. Rosmawijah Jawawi, Dr. Sallimah Muhammad Salleh, and Associate Professor Dr. Quintus Perera from the Sultan Hassanah Bolkiah Institute of Education at the University of Brunei Darussalam. In 2009, Brunei's sole provider of English medium teacher education, the Sultan Hassanah Bolkiah Institute of Education, or SHIBI, became a graduate school. Subsequently, all undergraduate initial teacher education programs formerly provided by SHIBI were replaced by a graduate provision through a Master of Teaching or the MTeach degree program. The MTeach became the entry qualification and licensing program to the teaching profession in Brunei Darussalam. The MTeach is also a professional qualification in initial teacher education certified at the master level. The MTeach program aims to develop high-quality teachers with strong content background at the master's level who can put cutting-edge research-informed classroom teaching into practice. Furthermore, the graduates of the MTeach program are anticipated to create inclusive, learner-centric classrooms that are conducive to learning, intellectually appropriate, with challenging knowledge and skills. Embedded in the MTeach program is an 8-modular credit research exercise, where the candidates submit a written report of around 6,500 words. We set the word limit according to the typical international standard practice, where 1 modular credit is equivalent to about 800 words. The graduate teacher candidates are required to conduct site-based research designed to improve teaching and learning in the teacher's candidate specialist area. The research itself is an experiential learning mode designed as capstone module of the program. It brings together teacher candidates' experiences throughout the program and encourage them to interrogate their practice. The purpose of this study is to explore the outcomes of MTeach teacher candidates' research studies and to investigate the challenges faced by the MTeach teacher candidates in engaging as reflective practitioners and being critical analysts of their findings. Starting from Cohort 4, we have introduced a rubric to assess their research exercise reports with criteria such as clear expression of aims and objectives, the usage levels of argumentative structures, and techniques for data analysis, among others. The analysis in this study represents the work from the past 3 years since the first cohort graduated, and the findings reported will represent the outcomes based on the rubric. In this presentation, we intend to report on the findings of the first, second, and third cohorts of MTeach teacher candidates. In addition, the findings from the fourth cohort will also be compared. The reason for this comparison was mainly because an improved guided assessment rubric was used to assess the fourth cohort of the teacher candidates' research exercises by their respective supervisors and internal examiners. The finding from the first 3 cohorts suggests an assessment rubric is needed to address the issues faced by supervisors and internal examiners during the examination process. Our initial findings from the past 3 years since the first cohort graduated revealed that for the research exercises pertaining to MTeach teacher candidates from cohort 1, 2, and 3, we observed huge variations in the marks given by the supervisors and the internal examiners. The supervisors and internal examiners also used different formats of reporting the assessment of the research exercise they were examining. We also observed that they were unclear or uncertain on what marks to give, that is, no specific marks given but only gave a grade. With the discrepancy of the marks or grades given by the supervisors and internal examiners, thus there were no means of comparisons. So why do we need the rubric in the first place? Firstly, it is for quality assurance, and we refer to global standards of quality in assessing graduate-level research exercises. We also inspected many different rubrics and incorporated features we identified to be essential research skills. One of the challenges we encountered in the first 3 years was that There was no standardized rubric used to assess the research exercises. Therefore, the use of the rubric is also for validity and reliability purposes. We used a specific guided assessment rubric in the year 2013, in which at that time we were assessing the first batch of the Cohort 4 MTech teacher candidates' research exercise reports. This figure represents the specific guided assessment rubric we adopted from HART in 2005. Each criterion carries a fair allocation of weighting. Furthermore, this rubric was given in advance to all our graduate students in SHIBI, as well as to supervisors and internal examiners. With the implementation of the guided assessment rubric, we were able to regularize the supervisory process. In addition, supervisors were informed early on to give their supervisees feedback based on the rubric on a regular basis throughout the supervision period. Importantly, the use of the rubric also created a common vocabulary for discussions, for example, for the supervisor and the internal examiner to report or discuss the graduate students' research work. We also observed after conducting the Board of Examiners meeting, where moderation of the marks were also done, that a good agreement was achieved between the two examiners, that is the supervisor and the internal examiner. We share here a figure representing the percentage distribution of the research exercise grades obtained by each of the 4 cohorts of MTech teacher candidates. From the figure, we can see, for example, cohort 2 had the highest percentage with 19% of MTech teacher candidates obtaining an A for their sample population in comparison to other cohorts. Overall performance in other modules did not represent this exceptionality of high performance by the second cohort. This pointed to possible assessment-related issues. Meanwhile, the cohort 4 shows a near normal distribution of grades after the adoption of the rubric. In summary, the use of the rubric has created a common vocabulary among the supervisors, supervisees, and the examiners in assessing and providing feedback to candidates during the pre-submission stage of our MTech teacher candidates' research work, and this is important in transparent assessment. Our graduate supervisees are now aware in advance what they have to improve on if they want to achieve a good grade. Furthermore, the rubric have also been used to assess SHIBI's graduate students enrolled in other Master by Coursework programs such as the Master of Education and the Master in Counseling. Although we have started using the improved guided assessment rubric, we still need to wait several more years to see concrete outcomes of the use of the rubric. These are the references used for this presentation. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions or comments in relation to this study, please email them to us.